Hey, how's it going? It's Jack, and today I'm going to go through my OLA2 solves for my sub-WR Reddit meme of 3. So, before you watch this, I'd recommend watching, like, the first one, because I go through, like, a few things about my letter scheme and, other stuff. Or at least just watch the beginning of it. So yeah, let's get right to it. So starting off, my buffer piece is already solved, so generally I tend to go for, like, this sticker, because this sticker has pretty decent comms. So starting off, we have BudJ. So I think of like a BudJ or like those little birds. I think of a blue one in particular, and I think generally for letter pairs, it's a good idea to make them like as personalized as possible, not like to an extreme extent. Plus, for free blind, I don't really think visualize the image too much because it's pretty fast. But that's what I generally recommend. So BudJ and toy, and that finishes the cycle. And going back to that personalized thing again, for toy I specifically think of like 3 like wooden blocks with the numbers 1, 2, 3 on them. Like, I don't know why, but that's the kind of image I have associated with it. Maybe I'll make a very beautiful MS Paint drawing of it afterwards, like the whole image I'm thinking of. And here for DH, I think of Pokemon DonpH and VaDe. It's kind of like invade. Also, one other thing to note is that while I'm memorizing this, I kind of think of the words or the images in a shortened form. So instead of like BudJ, I just think budge. Toy is already 1 syllable, so that's fine. I just think donph instead of donphin. So it's kind of like I'm making nicknames or like shortened forms of all these words, because I think it's faster, even though this solve had 10-second memory for some reason, which really sucked. And I just think VaDe instead of invade, so that's just like another small thing. Also noted that I finished on the same sticker, so I could kind of float to this, or like pseudo floats. Anyway, moving on. For edges, YH, so YooH. Because YooH is, I don't use YooH for edges, I kind of assigned a OO sound to the XH pairs, where X is any letter. So YooH less B, and starting, so yep, here I have to start a new cycle. And immediately I know this piece is available, and I know this is probably one of the fastest cycles possible starting from this letter. So I shoot to here, NaDe, OJ, God, and yeah, a few like pretty decent cycles in there. So now I start exec. So YooH is an 8 mover, and less, that's a 9 mover. That's another 9 mover. And that's an 8 mover. So these are pretty simple comms. And OJ, that's just D prime set up to an 8 mover. And GD, which is an 8 mover. Also, going back to stuff like OJ, let me find a 3x3. Like, I heard it's better to do it with groupless like this, but I just still can't get that fast yet, hence why I'm doing it this way still. So that's just one thing to note. Okay, back to this cube. So BJ, that's a 9 mover. It's like the COLL. Then TY, that's R prime D prime setup to the pure com. And here, like in hindsight, I think it would have been better if I did a Y prime rotation and did the arg for this, like that. But in the heat of the moment, like I wasn't really thinking about what the com would have been if I rotated it this way, so I just kind of unrestricted U prime setup to the alg I know for this case, which I can't really explain, so maybe I'll just put like an alg up somewhere. So yeah, pretty decent solve, mainly thanks to the easier comms and that kind of pseudo float thing at the end. But Memo was like 10 seconds, so it wasn't too great. Maybe after all. So for the third solve, this one was a bit more decent. It was a 19-second solve. Although I think this was like 9 comms as well, so it's like okay. So starting off, SY, so I think just say, and TiFf. I think of this like character thing from some game that I think I played a while ago called Tiffany, I think. I used to use Tomoya Furman, but since this is a free blind, I tend to think of like 1 syllable stuff. So yeah, sorry Tomoya, you're not worthy of my free blind Memo imagery. Well, not really imagery, but sentence thing. And next is UP, so up. So in this case, I'd sort of think like, I guess like pseudo sentence image. It's a bit hard to explain, but I don't really visualize as much for this as the previous solve. So say TiFf up would be what I'm thinking in my head. And I kind of think of this corner twist pointing that way. So I guess when I'm thinking up, I sort of think of an arrow going up that way, and maybe a bit that way as well to incorporate the corner twist. I tend to use the corner twist as some sort of directional thing in the image I'm making, so that might be useful for you. So yeah, going to edges, AH, R, FB, FoB, PoW, PoW, OX CAT. So starting off, this is a YooH 9 mover. FB is just an 8 mover. PW is a 9 mover. Notice how for that comm, let me just undo this. I kind of did the M2 like that, which I think is marginally faster in this case compared to that. I think. Yeah. I guess experiment with both and see which one you're faster with, but I think doing it that way is a little bit faster. And this is just an 8 mover again. Lots of kind of easy comps. And this is a U R prime setup to the MU5 mover. I'm really bad at explaining it like corner comms because I sort of just think of it as an alg and not really much of setup, so they'll just throw the algs in again. I should do it slowly at least so you can see the finger tricks. That's TiFf. That's just kind of like the A-perm thing. And corner twist. Just going back to that, I think it would have been better if I broke into the corner twist, but it's pretty hard to do it because you have to like not only because when you're breaking into like edge flips, which I can do somewhat easily, like you know that the starting letter of the other pair has to be the other sticker because there's only 2 stickers on the edge. So once you break into one sticker of the edge flip, then it has to be the other one starting the next pair. But for corners, you have to kind of trace the sticker around clockwise or anti-clockwise. And same for the remaining sticker. So in general, if you didn't get any of that, breaking the corners is kind of hard, and I can't do it yet. But if I were to do that, I'd probably do something like UJ, because I know that's the fastest one of the fastest UComms that I know for UFR. The other one would be YooH. Actually, no, wait. Maybe that's not too great, because this comm isn't too great. But it might just be the fastest, like, option in this case. Let me try this one. That would have been okay as well. Yeah, it's a bit hard to tell. But if I were to learn to break into corner twists, I'd try to get at least the first comm fast and leave the other one to random chance. So, in that case, I guess if I were to break into corners, I'd still go for that. And this okay comm. Well, pretty bad one, honestly. So, yeah, that concludes my walkthrough solved for the sub WR Reddit main. Thanks for watching.